Okay, tonight on Cooking with Carla, collard greens, one of my favorite green things to eat. These are easy to make, almost foolproof. It takes a little bit of time to cook them. They take a bit of time to cook on the stove, but they are delicious. They are good for you, and it's good Southern food. So I'm going to show you how to do these, Carla, and hope you watch this and start making these for your family.
So to get started with the collards, first thing we're going to need obviously are collard greens. I'm using bagged because I couldn't find fresh that looked, well, that fresh. Bagged are just fine. These are already chopped. You can find these in the produce section at the grocery store. I found these at Publix. You can get them at Harvey's, so I've seen them different places, so easy to find. I'm going to do 2 bags. We're going to make a big batch of them. I'm going to use some bacon for some seasoning. You could use a ham hock if you have one. I don't have a ham hock because I'm a retired teacher and I can't afford any kind of meat that has a ham hock stuck in it, so I'm going with bacon, and besides, everything's better with bacon. So, a couple of cloves of garlic, a little bit of kosher salt, use some sugar, and a little bit of vinegar. And that's all I'm going to use to get started here. So we'll start with the bacon. Okay, I've got about 5 strips of bacon cut up, and I'm just going to put these into a heated pot here. Just going to spread these apart. I'm going to basically cook these up before we add the other ingredients. Just going to get all that bacony goodness in here. Again, you can use a ham hock if you have it. I don't have one, so I'm going with this instead. And this is just for add flavoring to the mix. And I'm basically going to cook this until the bacon gets kind of crispy. So all the juice and the flavoring and all that comes out. And then we're going to add the garlic and the collards and the seasoning to it. So let this cook for a minute, and then we'll be right back.
Alright, my bacon is nice and crispy now, so I'm going to take my garlic and I'm just going to roughly cut this up. The thing about garlic is the smaller you cut garlic up, the more intense the garlic flavor will be. And I don't want it like super garlicky, so I'm just going to cut this roughly in here. Like that. There's a couple of good cloves here. Like such. Give that a quick stir. Then I'm going to throw in the collards themselves before I add the water. And the reason I put the collards in before I put the water in was to keep the water from splashing when it hits the hot grease from the bacon, just so you don't burn yourself. So that's one package. I'm going to add the other package. And these are going to cook down. Add some more water to it. Probably one more. Alright, there we go. To that we're going to add a little bit of vinegar. Some kosher salt. And a couple of tablespoons of sugar. And that's pretty much it. Stir these around a bit. Get it all mixed up. I'm going to bring the heat up a little bit now that I got the collards in here, bring them up to a boil, then I'm going to reduce it down to a low boil, and these are going to cook for about, I don't know, 2.5 to 3 hours. I'm going to cook long and slow. So bring it up to boil first and then lower the heat. And then just let them cook slow for several hours. And we'll see what happens when I come back. Okay, so after about 2.5 to 3 hours of cooking, these should be done. I wish you could smell this because the addition of the bacon at the beginning does wonders for these collards. I mean, it just smells absolutely amazing. Interesting about collards, we tend to think of them as a southern food, soul food, that kind of thing. Collards have been around for thousands of years. There's actually evidence of the ancient Greeks eating collards, so this is not a new food or a localized food for that matter. Will Joseph eat this? Well, it is a member of the cabbage family, and Joseph will eat cabbage, but it's dark leafy green, and he tends to avoid anything that's dark and leafy green. He calls it, what does he call it? Weeds and grass. That's what he calls it. I might get him to take a bite of it. I don't know, but got a feeling he's not going to eat this, but that's okay. It just leaves more for me. So I'm going to put this in a bowl and start eating. Okay, so here we are, the finished collards with some nice bits of bacon in there, and ready to eat. The only thing I need to go with this, my favorite condiment, is some pepper vinegar. Just some Tabasco pepper vinegar, and that's the only thing you need to go with it. If you don't like pepper vinegar, don't like hot sauce, fine. Eat the collards plain. That's okay. But anyway, they're not hard to do. Takes a while to cook because they're a kind of a tough leafy green vegetable, but they're very, very tasty. I love them dearly, and I hope you like this, Carla, and give it a try. I think you and Terrence and Izzy will enjoy this. So we'll see you next time.